how can you still continue to support the PlayStation platform even after this, man? These are the type of games that PlayStation is investing in, man. And the funny thing is, I thought you guys only played games at 90 or above on Metacritic. I mean, we got PlayStation fanboys really defending this game, man. And the funny thing is, more likely it'll probably pop up on Xbox because clearly Sony lost a lot of money on this. They put a lot of their own developers to help make this game because there was only one guy working on it. And these are the type of games that PlayStation is bringing to y'all, man. And the funny thing is, ain't nobody want to play this. And the funny thing is about Game Pass cannibalizing sales, it seems like Hollow Knight did well across the board. And the funny thing is, it's even on Game Pass for people that want to enjoy it on Xbox. Like I said, another reason as to why people should play Xbox over PlayStation. The only good games that y'all got is Gears of War Reloaded. That's it. Y'all barely have anything, man, because when it comes down to PlayStation bringing out games to y'all practically have nothing. You only had one good game this year, and more likely it's probably going to be Ghost of Yotei. That is it.
For the PlayStation China Hero project is a bit of a bust. The Hero project is a bit of a bust. Lost Soul aside,
already. The game just came out not too long ago, and it's already a bust. But yet, you guys keep telling people, "Oh, PlayStation 5 is doing fine. It's got 80 million, users, and 80 million people went out there and bought the console." This is projected, man. PlayStation 5 to me ain't sounding like the market leader that you people keep saying they are. Because if they were, then how come their games ain't really dominating the storefront? If they were, how come nobody's picking up your own exclusive games? Well, it's on PC, but you get my point. It's exclusive to them, right? Like, I mean, you guys are ridiculous, man. You guys are single-handedly, putting PlayStation in the grave with this type of behavior.
It's not scoring well on either platform, PC or PlayStation. Now, my initial impressions of the demo did not change. I played this game on launch, really, really hoping that the day one...
day one patches already. See, that's what I'm saying, man. This is why nobody cares enough to buy games at full price. Even Gears of War Reloaded is still having problems online, man. And the funny thing is, after fixing all the problems in Ultimate Edition, where that and this game are practically the same, there's still issues on that. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, why would anybody want to spend their hard-earned cash on these type of games, but when they're cheaper later down the road, and then they're fixed? No wonder free-to-plays are more popular than these games.
Would improve things, but it really didn't. Now, my impressions are very basic. I think the pacing is very poor. Dialogue's not that great. Writing and performance from the voice actors is not that great. Now, I could overlook all of that in a game like this if it delivers on all of the other stuff. But the combat, I think, to this day, there's differing opinions on this. I saw people all over Twitter saying they thought the combat was great. I think the combat feels terrible. It's loose.
Look at that. He clearly didn't drink his Reforge Gaming's coffee, because when he does, he turns into the Incredible Hulk, and that's when he really gets angry. Okay? He must add a little pony dust to it. Listen, man, the problem is the game just didn't look too special. And if this is these companies trying to put out these low budget projects just so they can maximize profits, well, this also shows you where the passion is gone. There's no passion no more, man. The generation, the real gaming generation ended with the PS3 and 360, and the only reason why they're carrying it on is because of third party. I guarantee you, if third party did not exist, Microsoft, and including Sony, would not be here right now. Y'all like, damn, games, you would be, yes. They make more money off the microtransactions, the loot boxes, and the season passes, right, of 30%. That's the only thing keeping these companies alive, bro. Y'all like, damn, GameStuH, right? But free-to-plays are kind of detrimental to that because you can play the games for free and don't have to pay online. So it kind of cuts out the middleman. It's like, remember, if you played on Xbox and PlayStation, so this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is how you know paying for multiplayer is a scam. Because if free-to-plays, right, think about what I'm about to say. If you don't have to pay online for free-to-plays, then why do you have to pay online to play your own favorite games? And the funny thing is, your game is not even a luxury because most people play the free-to-plays over your own titles. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, what? So this whole like, oh, companies, they got to charge for the online and maintenance to servers. Well, then why is Fortnite and all these other games doing it for free on your own platforms? You guys is just sad, man. I mean, at this point, man, hopefully with the new Xbox PC, hopefully it's free online multiplayer because to be honest with you, paying for online, especially in 2025, is just redundant to me.
It's super delayed. It does not feel tight.
Look at
Your
that.
blocks, your dodges. Now, I've had people say, oh, it gets better with time. It gets better the more you play. I think, and I've always said this, games that are centered around combat should feel fantastic from the beginning. The movement and the camera also don't feel very good. There's a very looseness to the game. So how's the game faring with the public? Am I off my rocker here? Where it has a 76% on the PlayStation Store. Now listen to me. That's actually felt. It has a 60% on Metacritic for both review outlets and users. And the number of reviews on PC indicates to me this has been a commercial failure on PC at least. It only has about 800.
I thought we played games at 90s. That's what we play games. We don't play games under 80, right? That's what play. I'm like I said, man. It's so funny because you guys are having some of the most poorly rated games. Have y'all noticed this whole PS5 generation? Every single one of your games have been rated poorly. A lot of them have. A lot of Until Dawn remake. A lot of your games ain't getting those same critically acclaimed 9s and 10s that Sony was paying for. I mean, y'all was lucky to even get Astrobot as a Game of the Year due to Jeff Keighley doing some questionable things backstage to get y'all that award when it should have been Black Myth Wukong.
Reviews on PC. And the unfortunate thing is, this is the type of game that everybody's saying was going to save the industry, right? It's an Eastern developer. It's a small team. It was driven by passion, and I wanted it.
How do you think it was going to save the industry? They put a Japanese protagonist. There you go. That's the first problem. You're like, what GameStuH? What would you say? You guys already know how I feel about this. It ain't Japanese, yo. It ain't. They need Leon Kennedy walking out there and Chris Redfield walking out there with their rifle. It ain't Japanese, though. You see? Well, the GameStuH, it's a China Hero project. Well, you know where the game. All right, listen, let's just skip that notion. But the point is, these people, you guys, y'all don't support these games like y'all claim. The only time you support them is when they walk around and it's westernized. We already know if it ain't Japanese, well, they say, hey, if it ain't Japanese, though, that's why the game was a failure.
To do great. We had a breakdown.
It ain't
from
Japanese,
Billy on Twitter.
though.
Basically, they put out a video sort of talking about the timeline.
Nobody cares about these Chinese games, man. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. This is the market that they're trying to cater to, and the only way they can do that is through PC gaming. This is why Sony and Microsoft are doing these things. Like I said, they're gonna be very selective in the games that they want to play. It is what it is. Same thing with the Japanese. They never been the market leader. Like, you guys keep still holding on to the 90s, bro. Oh, Japanese, though. Bro, it's not like that no more, man. If you notice, how many Japanese games hit in top 10? Y'all know they're not. Come on, bro. Don't lie to yourself, man. I'm not saying that Japanese don't support. Like, they support Dragon Quest. They support a lot of titles, but Monster Hunter, Street Fighter, those are universal. Those are universally supported all over the world. You feel what I'm saying? I don't count those. But name a game where you can say there's more Japanese people playing it than anybody else. You can't. You just can't. So that just shows you that the market there is not as big as it once was before, right? You know what I mean? That's why they catering to the Western appeal. I'm like, damn, GameStuH, you're right. How many times you see these fake wannabe Japanese games, though, walk around with a guy that looks like Leon Kennedy, and they want to sit there and say it's Japanese, though? How is it Japanese if the character ain't even from Japan? Like, you people are ridiculous. And the funny thing is about Ghost of Yote, that game ain't Japanese, though. Because guess what? It's made by an American. It's so weird, bro. That's made by an American studio. I don't get it anymore. But they want to support that, though.
From one person to three people to
But then they want to sit there and say Assassin's Creed Shadows is woke. Well, why is an American company making a Japanese game? That clearly goes against your own agenda. This is so stupid, man. It shouldn't even matter what type of game people try to bring off whatever setting or whatever game they're trying to fund and back for themselves. I think those things are irrelevant. Oh, it's not his doing it. Who plays a video game for historical accuracy? Who does that? Ask yourself. I didn't like Lost Soul Aside because it's not historically accurate. Like, imagine using that as a stance to bash on a video game. I don't like God of War because it's not historically accurate. What? You people are stupid. It's a video game. I don't like the Deadpool movie because it's not historically accurate. I don't want to watch Batman versus Superman because it's not comically book accurate. Like, bruh.
People to 19 people to like 29 to now 35 to 40. And along the way, the game had to be rebooted.
Gears of War is not historically accurate.
Certain points
Oh my
where
lord.
the game
This is how you know the gaming community has fallen off, man. Why? Like, I mean, I be looking at it, man, and I'm saying this, and thank God that I went to retro gaming because, to be honest with you, I don't care about this crap.
To be sort of retooled and restarted. In 2019, the game had to be scrapped and restarted from scratch, scaling it down. Like the open world thing was not working. And
because it was originally a PS4 title.
The unfortunate thing here is it started out with some very humble beginnings. It was one person. He was very passionate. The game development in all these years took a significant toll on him. And the fact that it went through this is really...
No, because Sony sent some people to help work on the game. So that's why I see what Porter Rock is saying. You had Sony, you sent people in. There was one guy working on it, and Sony came in and zapped all the passion out of it. So it probably would have been better if Sony didn't involve themselves, with this whole money hatting strategy. Well, there you go. Well, it just showed you again that exclusivity don't matter because look at PlayStation. Y'all like, it's not PlayStation to do that. No, there was at one time the game was a passion project. But as soon as Sony says, hey, we'll help fund and back your game, then all of a sudden the game has lacked its passion? Sounds very similar to how corporations work.
Really unfortunate. And PlayStation stepping in at a certain point and helping with production costs and helping with publishing.
Yeah, because those things cost money. And yet the problem is, even though they came in and helped with all that, they took the passion out of the game. I can guarantee it.
Cost is great. But now, because of that, it's a clear mark against the China Hero project. It's also a clear, huge indicator that all these huge grand claims that like Eastern developers were going to save us or that AA and indie games were going to save us, I think that's largely been overstated. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers is another game with an unimpressive score on Steam at 69%.
They're not. I told people this. GameStuH, y'all really thought these Chinese games or these Japanese? Bro, I'm going to tell you something. Y'all don't really like these games. And what doesn't help the China market is the fact that you're copying other established franchises. You're not doing anything that stands on its own 2 feet. Black Myth, Wukong, Wu Chang Fallen. Bro, listen. The games ain't nothing but Souls alternatives, bro. Why would a person that plays Souls even go down and downgrade himself to play a game like this? I'm not trying to disrespect these games. I'm just saying from the perspective of how these casuals think, they're not going to do that. They're not going to support these projects. Come on, guys, man. You people you know this already, but you guys want to keep saying the Chinese and the Japanese, though, they're going to support gaming. It ain't. Because at the end of the day, you have a better chance of getting Jeremy Lin on the cover of NBA 2K than a Chinese and a Japanese game dominating.
And a 74% on PlayStation. Those are not strong scores for these types of games.
It's not.
My review of Wu Chang was
not even strong scores. It's not even strong sales.
Rough around the edges. Terrible pretty ugly performance mode on console. Performance issues, and other people took issue with the game's design and some of the core flaws and problems with the combat as well. Now, Wu Chang felt way better than Lost Soul Aside, but it's another Eastern developer small team game that didn't do what everybody said these games.
And that's why they took that Game Pass money. That's why I dropped on Game Pass, because they knew their game was going to sell. So when you guys sit there and say, so hold on, so are you guys ruining the industry? Because you say Game Pass is ruining gaming, but yet nobody went out there and bought the games like you said people do on PlayStation 5. So now I'm starting to see why Wu Chang was on Game Pass, because they knew that nobody was going to buy their game, and Microsoft gave the money up front. I don't know how much they gave, but just to keep it on the service, and they could also sell it in case in case they get any other upcoming sales. So that shows you Game Pass is the only thing helps out salvaging gaming at this point. Because if companies was just outright dropping these games like you ponies say they do, then they would fail. Because that's what's going on. Stop using a few case by case basis games. And GameStuH with another W. When you guys kept running with this, oh, Expedition did well. No, it didn't. No, it did not. It sold well due to the budget of the game. Listen to what I said. It sold well. All right. It's like you people have a hard time comprehending things. I know the game sold well, but listen to what I said. Sold well due to the budget. Okay? Do I have to put parentheses with budget? Due to the budget. That's why it did well. But if the game had a AAA budget, that game would have failed. Y'all like, damn. Now I see what you're saying, GameStuH. There you go. This is the problem with video gaming. It's the fact that most of these games can only succeed if they go back to the budgets of how it was back in the days of the PlayStation 2. Like, this is ridiculous. What is the point of paying for next generation hardware to get AA games, right? And then get games at a lower budget. And then you ain't even getting true next generation games because they can't even push the envelope because it costs too much to make, on top of the fact that there ain't enough people to buy it.
We're going to do. It seems like it's going to take a bit more than just like a small non-Western dev team to deliver a great game. And hopefully, listen, for the sake of this game and the one man that was originally behind it, I actually hope they can turn this around. I saw a lot of people on Twitter say they were loving it, they were having a great time, but for now, it's not looking good. And
that's the fanboys. But guess what? They still ain't enough for y'all because there ain't enough people that bought the game. So, like I said, man, you PlayStation fanboys need to grow up. Game is mainstream. You will not see the days of a company invested all this money to bring out one of the best games in the world. Like I said, companies are playing it safe. Microsoft, let me break this down real quick before we end this video. Microsoft is playing it safe. Nintendo is even playing it safe. Why do you think we don't see a lot of their own established games anymore? Because ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl. Because Mario and... Look, I'm getting invites to play Gears of War. I'm going to probably do that in a minute. But like I said, yeah, we play games over here. Yeah, what was I about to say? So anyways, you guys say that, oh, people buy our game. No, they don't. They don't buy your games, bro. They don't. So that shows you that people ain't buying these quote-unquote exclusives. They didn't even buy the game on Steam. That shows you we're going back to AA games. What is the point of next-gen hardware? And what's the point of Sony pushing the envelope of gaming if there's not enough? Because remember, if you're pushing the envelope of gaming, you're going to need a lot of people to support your game. 2 million sales ain't going to do it like Expedition unless you have a low budget. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I said, as far as I'm concerned, gaming is already dead for the true fan. And we're going to continue to still have these arguments because guess what? It's going to keep on happening. Because I already know these people don't play Japanese game. They don't even play Chinese game. They don't play none of those. Okay? Not even the Chinese want to play their own game, man. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And like I said, take care. Peace out.